All right, so it finally happened. Spider-Woman has entered the contest, so let's break her down. Yeah, so Spider-Woman comes in the contest with Fumble, Debilitate, and Snare, Wither, and a bunch of other great utilities that makes her invulnerable. But we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about her combo. What is her combo like? Now, when I was playing her combo was relatively easy. It reminded me a little bit of Black Cat mixed with a little bit of Silk, but not the same abilities as those two champions. Like, just her animations, like they weren't clunky at all. It definitely would take some time to get used to, but overall, I liked it. And with that, as you can see, that power sting damage, she was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed playing her and getting familiar with her, and she brings a lot to the table. And I'm all here for like any champion that does power stings. As everyone knows, I have like Spider-Ham at rank 3, 6, 200 as a 7-star because that's how much I love power stings. And she really can stack them. And the great thing about her power stings is you can't shake them off. So her power stings are really, really deadly, and she has an evade mechanic, and it's just, I think Kabam did a really, really good job with it. First up, let's talk about her strengths. What are her strengths? Well, she has a safety net against Unstoppable and Miss. She can counter Unstoppable with her Abilitate, and as you can see here, we're going to shut down Juggernaut, so we don't have to worry about him going unstoppable, which is a really good thing. And we're going to shut down Mortal by ensnaring him, and once he's ensnared, he's not going to be able to counter evade, and we all know how annoying Mortal can be with that counter evade. Can't really stun him consistently, but that's dead when you're facing against Spider-Woman. Another one of her abilities is she has severe power stings. The great thing about her power stings is they can't be purified or shrugged off, as you can see here, because we all know Agent Venom loves to shrug things off, but he can't do it right here. So yeah, the anti-evade and all that. But she does have weaknesses. One of her weaknesses is Tranquilize. Like, this can shut down her debuffs and make her relatively useless. So if you can Tranquilize Spider-Woman, she pretty much is dead on arrival. You'll be able to easily take her. Another one of her strength is weaknesses, is debuff duration. If you can find a way to reduce the duration of her debuffs, she is kind of, again, useless. Like, she's really reliant on her debuffs. Another one of her ability or weaknesses would be she can't, well, anyone that can counter evade. If you can shut down her evade, like Nick Fury here, she's not going to be as deadly. And last but not least, any champion that's immune to Power Sting or resistant to Power Sting will be able to shut her down because she's really reliant on her Power Stings and other debuffs to do her damage. She does have some immunities. One of her immunities is she's poison immune. So Archangel is not going to be able to melt her in Battlegrounds, unfortunately. So keep that in mind. Another one of her immunities is she is neutralizer. She can't be neutralized. So keep that in mind when facing her, which can be very annoying in Battlegrounds if you can't neutralize her, especially when you're using Rentra. And last but not least, you cannot power steal her. Her abilities, you can't steal her power. So again, she gains power, or on a note where she gains power, she's gonna be quite deadly. But what is she like Awaken? Now, her Awaken ability, I actually like her Awaken ability. It has a lot of utility. Like when a personal Fury is consumed or nullified, 100% chance to gain identical Fury passive. The total amount of personal Furies and passes cannot exceed 20. Intercepting the opponent has a 100% chance to grant a Fury buff, so she's kind of AI dependent. And while dodging back during the final hit of the opponent's special attack, Spider-Woman has a 100% chance to evade. This evade does not trigger if the attack is successfully dodged. So I will say her Awaken ability is more so utility based, and I don't really think she needs to be awakened. I don't think I would use a generic Awakening gem on her or a Science gem on her, but again, she does benefit from her Awaken ability, but I think she's perfectly fine unawakened in my opinion. But there will be people out there that will probably awaken her and take her to 6,200. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're doing it for prestige, sure. Speaking of which, her prestige is 27,360, so she has pretty decent prestige, and I can see why someone would take her to 6,200, but me personally, I would not. So what is she like on defense? Now, as a defender, I didn't think she was really all that difficult. She can be kind of tricky, but my advice here is always push her to an SP2 because Spider-Woman can apply her power stings and her shock through the block. And it all sucks when you're in Battlegrounds and you can't throw your special to try to end the fight, or you take damage because of power sting. So her SP2 or SP1 is really difficult to dex. I'm pretty sure it can be dex, but I can't do it. I'm pretty sure someone in my comments will be able to, like, I can do it. But yeah, I always push her to an SP2 and don't even try to dodge or bait out her SP1 because that's just gonna deal a lot of damage. Other than that, I didn't really think she was a tough defender at all. I think she's definitely gonna be used offensively in Battlegrounds. There may be some times where she can be tricky, but I didn't really see much how tricky she can be. Like, she does have that evade mechanic, but you can easily, you know, dance around that and work your way around that. It's the SP1 is something I will be concerned about, but you know, that's me. Now, the stat focus I'll recommend would be crit rating and block penetration, because on that SP1, you can, you know, apply damage through her, apply this power sting through the block, and you know, the more crit she does, the better. So I'm pretty sure that would definitely be beneficial on offense and Battlegrounds, in my opinion. The relic I'll recommend for her would be the Ant-Man relic. More power stings, more damage, plus, you know, adding the taunt. As the comment says, it was a relic was made for her. Now the Masteries. The Masteries I'll recommend would be Despair and Equity. Now, I don't believe she has a way to heal, but I think she would be okay for the damage Masteries, only because, you know, she's a poison immune and you can passively heal from that, you know, double edge, I believe. So yeah, I think she would be okay, but again, you're kind of reliant on throwing your special, so I wouldn't recommend it, but she can work for them, so keep that in mind. And last but not least, what are my overall thoughts on her? Pros and cons time. Well, pros, her awakened ability brings more utility to the champion. She's fine at low tick. She's actually fine in awaken, and she has really, really great ability. But as my cons is, as a defender, she's kind of weak. She's also debuff reliant, and she's AI dependent, and her utility can be overwhelming because she brings so much utility, and is trying to figure out the proper rotation or how to really take advantage of her utility to really get the most out of her can be a little bit daunting to the new or upcoming player for MCOC. But other than that, once you get a handle on it, it's not that bad. So overall, I do like this champion. I feel like I've been saying it about every champion that's been released this year, but overall, I do like her. I think she brings a lot to the contest, a lot of utility, and there's a lot she can do. And as you know, since this game is moving heavily towards Battlegrounds, offensively, I think she's going to be a monster in Battlegrounds. I feel like she kind of reminds me a little bit of Spider-Ham. So let's say black cat mixed with silk, and sprinkle in a little bit of Spider-Ham, and you got Spider-Woman. And the great thing about her is you don't have to worry about her power stings being nullified. All you have to worry about them is falling off. That's it. I do wish you can pause her power stings or maybe extend them or refresh them, but other than that, since they can't be purified, I think they're perfectly fine as is. So overall, I do like her. I think this is a very solid champion, and if I get her, she probably will be going to rank 3. I feel like I've been saying that a lot about champions this year, but Kabam hasn't been missing this year, so I feel like that's justified. So overall, I think she's a solid champion. Let me know in the comments below what you think about her, and yeah, I think Kabam, I think she's good. So with that being said, if you did like this video, please hit that like button, and for anyone new here, if you can hit that sub button, I'll greatly appreciate it. Y'all take care. Have a great and wonderful day.